Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tom Martin, and I'm board president of Think Local First DC. Think Local First's mission is to support responsible local businesses and create the conditions in which they thrive in order to make Washington, D.C. a more vibrant, inclusive, and equitable place to live, work, and play. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our next speaker today, Anika Hobbs, founder, CEO, and lead curator of Nubian Hueman. Nubian Hueman, with stores in DC, Baltimore, and always on the web, is a social enterprise that specializes in sourcing and curating unique goods, fashion, and art by designers representing the global diaspora. They break the myth that artists cannot live through their creative abilities, and they have successfully partnered with close to 500 artists and designers from 6 continents and over 25 countries. They are a link that binds creative sustainability and international commerce. Please join me in welcoming Anika Hobbs.
I'd have to admit, this is not a feel-good story, but this is my truth. So in 2019, that was the year of order for us. In 2020, that was the year of action. This was the time that my business was going to truly, truly soar. We had 2 stores under our belt, and we had proven that we could scale. We would go big or go home in 2020 because all of our ducks were in a row, or so we thought. Take our biggest event, the Black Love Experience. Since 2013, every year this event has grown. In 2019, we worked with over 2,500 Black creatives, artists, and businesses, and brands. And in 2020, this was going to be an even bigger year. This was the first year that we were able to get sponsors from corporations, big and small, and we had a full team. And our strength in making the event was going to be even greater. We were at the point where we were counting down the weeks and then the days. We had over $25,000 worth of rentals and materials. My storage unit was full of tents and furniture and hundreds of dollars of wine and alcohol by Black-owned brands. If you need a party, come see me. We had sound equipment and lighting and rehearsals and meetings after meetings after meetings. We had completed all these various types of marketing. We had yard signs and flyers and digital ads and even bus ads. So much so that everyone said they saw Black love everywhere. This was all leading up to March 21st, 2020. But on March 13th, we got a call. The call to shut down our businesses because of this contagious virus. Then the messages changed from a couple of days to a couple of weeks. Okay, but then there's no tissue. And you had to get sanitized. And you had to wear masks and social distance and stay inside. Stay inside. So how does that work for a business that has 2 stores and a producer of an annual festival? How does that work for a shutdown? It doesn't. We're about people and space, positive energy. That's why we build stores, and that's why we hold events. So as many times as I tried to flip it and wait just one more week, it became apparent, this isn't gonna happen. And I went through all of these emotions, confusion and doubt and worry, mental fatigue, false optimism, denial. It was like I had bull in a china shop rage. This is like a real emotion for me. And then straight defeat. We had to close, and we had to cancel this event. No money for staff or our teams, no money to pay rent. We were losing sponsorships. We had to give vendor and ticket refunds, and there were no real answers. My livelihood, better yet, our livelihood, completely stopped. Then one day, the lead curator for our Black Love Experience, she said she had an idea. She also said, Anika, I understand what you're going through, and if you want to quit, then we quit. She didn't know that I had just finished a full-on breakdown. I mean, tears and snot and balled up in a corner. But one thing I don't do is quit. We mulled over her idea, turning it around and addressing all the what ifs. We even had a 20-point COVID prevention plan. I mean, like Fauci and the CDC should know us. It was important that we serve and keep our community safe. So our emotions went from all of these bad things to creativity and humility, acceptance, and new growth in this new reality. We were turned down so many times, but little by little, there was light shed in our corner. Our teams, vendors, and artists, they never wavered. And we just knew we had to hold a festival that meant to heal our community that needed it the most. So we began to figure out how to navigate the system even more, created more contingencies, and convinced our sponsors to stay on. And eventually, after changing venues and postponing and then deciding to go all the way virtual, we made it happen. And as a company, we focused on maximizing our digital spaces. So in March, we shut down. But in April, we fully launched all of our websites. And in August, we successfully held our first Black Love Experience virtually. But I have to say this, our community, like our customers and our supporters, they all rallied around us. They regularly let us know how important we were to Black-owned and brown-owned brands, and they intentionally voted with their dollars. Our artists and our vendors, they shared their stories, and we worked together to build bridges that allowed us, our businesses, to sustain uncharted hurdles of this coronavirus. We partnered on projects, and we gave each other special conditions to ease the burden. And most importantly, we gave each other grace. Now, I've seen minuses in the bank account. I am not gonna lie. I've had no staff, I've had no team, and sometimes I do daydream of what it was to be normal. But they say that every negative occurrence is bad because of how you dealt with it, not because of what happened. So we owned our success just by making it through 2020. Our doors are still open, and we had another successful year of the Black Love Experience under our belt. But it is still very hard. We're still figuring it all out. I've taken this experience and I see it as this is where the seeds of resilience are planted, and most importantly, our opportunity to continue to grow. So after 8 years, as of September 14th of being in business, I'll raise you 100, and I'll see you in 8 more. Thank you.